Philly Hot Sauce Fest.
Oh, yeah, plug it.
Philadelphia Hot Sauce Fest is going to be August.
All right, that's enough.
17th. All right, so let's do it right. August 17th and 18th at Neshaminy Creek Brewing. We've got 30 of the best hot sauce vendors this half of the country. Come on out, $10, get a beer. We're going to have food trucks, live music. It's going to be a big event. It's going to be fun. I just want to see everybody there. Our hot sauce family's been super supportive to us and the podcast, and enjoy.
Yes.
We should put this in the beginning of
PhillySauceFest.com.
And that is our cold open. Roll the intro.
Welcome to the full slice, where the conversations rise. Phil, Kyle, Tyler, Paul.
All right, let's... Oh, fuck me. All right, maybe I need it. That's a lot of pressure there. Thanks, guys.
I tried to hold
Yes.
it.
Hello.
Welcome here.
Welcome here. Full size podcast.
We're having a good time.
What are you doing, man?
I don't know. I'm not loose. I'm not loose yet.
The gummies haven't kicked in yet.
Yeah, another gummy, dude.
Yeah,
Welcome
I'll
to
take
another
like 4 more
episode of Full
gummies. We'll kick it in.
Welcome here. I love you.
It's another episode of Full Size Podcast. This is a Phil special episode.
A safe
I
place.
guess so, yeah. We're
Right?
gonna dive into some world of food and head on north to the wild world of Canada.
What are we doing there? Because our country sucks? Is that why we're...
Unhinging our heads and
No,
mouths.
but our country is second in this one subject, and that subject is maple syrup production.
Hell yeah.
Maple syrup.
This sounds like a sticky situation.
Yes.
Ooh.
Well, do you want to know where the #1 place in the United States is for maple syrup?
Canada.
Vermont.
No, bingo.
Is it really Vermont?
Bingo bango.
I have a friend who owns a maple syrup farm in Vermont. She's
Oh, yeah?
yeah, very good friend.
Yeah.
Very
so
good
that's,
friend. Yeah.
They own about, let's say, like 15 to 20%
Yeah.
of the global production.
We know
What was
who's
the percent?
next.
50?
Vermont does.
15 to 20.
15 to
Yeah.
20% of the...
The global economy.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
It's out of
from
Vermont.
my probably bad misinformation.
What?
But yeah.
I'm misquoting this.
Before we get too far into it, Len, you're picturing maple syrup. Like, there's like maple syrup that's like, and then there's like Aunt Jemima. That's different,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
What's
So-
different about that?
Dude, you're about to get canceled.
Yeah, dude,
It's Pearl Milling Company
Pearl
now.
Milling Company, you traitor.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, America.
I didn't realize that happened either.
So, to my question, why do they taste different?
So
Why do
there's
what's the two
different
kinds?
standards. Some come from sucrose or glucose from corn, like corn syrup, whatever.
Oh.
And then you have, which is then infused with some kind of either maple syrup flavor. What's going
Cornstarch.
on, PJ?
Some come.
Oh, some come.
Some come, some don't.
Some come blue. Everybody loves you.
Some have the ability, some don't. So
Okay,
yeah, so,
and
so-
what other one's more maple syrup?
So maple
heavy?
syrup,
like actual maple syrup sap.
Yes, so maple syrup officially comes from 3 types of maples. You have the sugar maple, the red maple, and the black maple.
Oh.
The sugar maple is going to be your main one. That's the one that produces the most.
Checks out.
So those are usually grown in North America, in particularly Northeast America. So
Okay.
you have Canada, and then the largest composite.
Sorry. Canada.
Why?
Canada. He said Canada. I
I had
played
a
it.
seizure in my brain.
Maine does it too. I know.
Maine, yeah, I'm sure they do as well. But yeah, from my research, all I read was that Vermont and Canada were the biggest producers,
Okay.
and within
Checks out.
Canada, Quebec is 70%
Quebec has a lot.
So
yeah.
Quebec, between Quebec and
Of
Vermont
all of Canada,
alone.
of all.
Quebec is
Yeah.
I have a
the
question.
hub.
Yeah, that's the hub.
Is it on reserve? Like oil?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll
Wow.
get to that. The first introduction of maple syrup was believed to be by the indigenous people, wherever they're from, and it was not actually derived from. The inception was not to get syrup itself; it was to get the bark on the inside, which was softer. You could eat it. It was a survival food.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so by
Oh,
them
really?
tapping into it, they found that this stuff was seeping out after the freeze, after the frost.
Yeah.
So they're like, what's this stuff? And so eventually, somewhere down the line, they decided to boil it down. And I think it was like 30 gallons of syrup and some other kind of ingredient equates to 1 gallon of syrup. So
It's
you
crazy
need
to boil
30 to
down.
create 1.
Wow.
And don't
Yeah.
they? Isn't there another thing? Like they used to like chew on it. It was almost like
Yeah.
the first candy.
That's
sap.
what I was
It
going to
like
ask.
hard
What was it?
sap.
It was like some soft wood that they would eat
So-
or
Yes,
something?
they would tear into the bark to get
and it
some,
would just be some kind of
they
like
had no food.
syrup-saturated
Yeah.
piece of wood?
It
Yeah.
was
That sounds actually kinda
oxidized
good.
sap that was exposed to oxygen for too long would harden, and they would use that as
like
bubble
rosin,
like tack or whatever it's called. Yeah.
And they also used
Yeah.
it. They would heat it up, and they would use it to fasten arrow feathers on arrows and
We use
arrowhead
like
strings.
glue.
Yes.
Use it as a glue.
Yeah.
But
learn
yeah,
that
think
at,
about a bad winter. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna eat whatever I freaking can.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%.
Correct. Yeah.
If I'm not eating my brother. or
Not
something
not
like that.
too different from this, but just real quick, just to add on to that, like I remember I bumped into a tree once. And it was a wintergreen tree, and I didn't know it. Oh my gosh, it smelled just like the gum. It was so delicious.
Yeah.
You
scrape
bumped
it?
into a wintergreen tree.
No,
Do you-
get any sap on
fossil
your back?
digging. Remember, it was
Oh.
hanging over us, and like if you scrape it with a tool or something to get through the bark, it
Yeah.
smells exactly like the Wrigley's gum. Oh my god, does it smell delicious?
Really?
Holy cow! I would
Yeah.
chew on that bark.
You-
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
You might.
Also in the same vein is like a birch tree. It's like you take a little piece of branch off and you can chew on it.
Yeah.
It
Birch
tastes
beer.
like birch beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Honeysuckle.
I have a friend that makes
Great time.
maple syrup,
you.
and he
Sorry.
literally uses 275-gallon tanks and makes maybe like 8 quarts, 10 quarts of it out of that. It's crazy,
It's
and
nuts.
it gets the color from cooking it.
Yeah.
It's clear and like water when it comes out of the tree. I never
Yeah,
knew that.
it's clear. It's clear when it comes out.
Is it really?
and it's
Yeah,
water. It's like
just like
watery.
us.
It's runny.
Huh.
Oh,
What were you
It's
saying?
not a milky white
Yeah.
substance.
Well, I got a vasectomy.
Where were you?
I derailed myself.
It's okay. Go back.
Yeah,
you can go back to it.
So, anyways,
damn it,
yeah,
Phil.
you're gonna have to edit this.
That's all right.
So yeah, anyways, so it was found by the indigenous people out of pretty much survival, and now it is a beloved treat. So over the years, maple syrup was heavy production, and Canada obviously saw a ton of it. And unfortunately, it wasn't regulated. So you were seeing a lot of businesses go in and out. There's a lot of flux. There wasn't a regulated price. So then this thing called the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers came into play. And
Wow.
basically what they did is they designed a system where they're going to regulate all of the price, all of who and what can sell, all of the standards that are on behind maple syrup
The
production.
De Beers of
Okay.
maple syrup.
It's precisely.
Yeah.
And what that turns into is it makes it a cartel.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
then you have your bootleggers.
Private
Yep.
I was gonna say
security.
so that creates underground markets of
Yeah.
these things to get
Precisely.
around these regulations.
Black maple market,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nice job.
Black maple market.
So the fascinating thing is that a barrel of maple syrup is 30 times the price of oil. And I don't think that's correct. But
And I don't think that's correct.
I'm misquoting this.
No, it's entirely possible. though.
but there was a documentary in Netflix on 2020 called
Yep.
Dirty Money,
Yep.
and that's what they said in that. So that's their quote, not mine. Yeah. So basically, what this federation has done is they've created this cartel where you can essentially buy into this network and you can be supported by it and all that kind of stuff.
Or
but,
they can crush you.
Yeah. But they have this thing called a quota. So
Yeah.
you can only sell so much. They dictate how much you can only sell. And so if
They
you,
control your market,
Yeah, if
even
you-
if you're a private ownership.
Exactly.
Well, they control
That's-
the market.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
They give you as much access as they want to it.
Do you think that comes with an inflated price? Do you think the actual price of maple syrup would be lower if it wasn't regulated in such a manner?
So the
Maybe.
research has shown that they've actually increased the market value by 200 or 300%.
By creating a false demand like diamonds.
Exactly.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Well, this is where.
the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
yeah,
fucking nuts,
Yeah.
dude. A diamond
Well-
is worth nothing.
Yeah.
But because of De Beers' control and ownership, diamonds are like $1 million a pound. It's like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
It's wild.
And like, you know, the thing that like even it gets so dirty to the point that like, let's just say you have a couple maple trees in your yard and you
Right.
want to harvest some maple syrup
Right.
yourself.
Right.
They will come in and cut those trees down if they
Yeah.
find out.
yeah. Yeah.
They will cut, and they have no oversight, so they will go through your medical records, your
Yes,
bank records.
everything.
They will go through
They
everything.
will.
Wow.
If you've divorced someone,
They will
Wow.
assassinate you.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They're called like the mafia.
Wait,
or
even in New Jersey?
no, no, no.
Oh,
It's only in
okay.
Quebec
Only in
territory
Quebec,
area.
yeah.
Cause like,
Say, I
I gotta
gotta
go
call
cut my
Billy.
trees down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
My friend Billy, who has maple
His own
syrup farm.
syrup?
Yeah, he has a bunch of acres behind his house, and there was old maple taps in there. So he just like, all right, I'll just get some buckets, hung it, and then had an old oil tank, sanitized it, and boiled his own syrup. And I was like over hanging out with him and his kids. He's like, here, take this home. I made this maple syrup
That's
myself
awesome.
in the yard. And I was like, dude, I don't even want to use. I used it for like cocktails. Like I didn't want to pour it and waste an ounce of it. It
I
was
can't
so
have
good.
I can't have pancakes or waffles without syrup.
Do you
just can't.
do you gravitate more towards?
I like butter and syrup. I like them both.
Dude,
Love
if
it.
any
but do
part
you-
of my
at the same
breakfast,
time.
Do you typically will you buy like real maple syrup or will you buy one of the big normal?
Both. I'm fine with both, but I'm fine with real maple syrup. It's got a different
Damn it.
different smoky
Now I want to go get some.
And it's
flavor.
Got, and it's got like the viscosity is different.
It's runnier
because it's
right?
not because it's not it's not what's it called?
Viscous?
The
Viscosity?
No, the corn syrup. What kind of corn syrup?
Molasses.
Fructose corn
No,
syrup.
high fructose corn syrup.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
fake stuff. I have a
True.
I think you follow her. I'm not sure if you do or not.
Food science.
No, Owl's Head Farmstead. Owl's Head Farm. This
Maybe.
my friend Hannah in Vermont.
Yeah,
That's what they do is maple syrup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they sent me a container of maple syrup in trade for a skillet restoration, and it's just you can taste the difference of syrup that somebody made at their house
sure.
versus buying even buying maple syrup at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's just so good, and they sell it. So Owl's Head Farm, check it out
Well, here's the
in Vermont, by the way.
Yeah, which is better than what I'm about to talk about in Quebec. So there's a thing called the quota, and if you have a surplus, you can't put it in the market. You have to give it to them in what they call the Global Strategic Reserve, which is their
Wow.
essential warehouse of
I would've
barrels and
never
Overflow.
barrels.
They're controlling
Yes.
the overflow.
So if there's a dip in the market, then that maple syrup is reintroduced into the market, and then the wealth is spread across the individuals.
seriously,
Do you think this
But-
happens with like bacon and ground beef and all? Do you think it happens with all this?
But it's like a cartel. Like it's a legal cartel.
it's
It's so
it's
crazy.
a legal
Yeah.
cartel.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So
I
that
never thought this.
is why I just found that fascinating. I mean,
it is. It's
yeah.
it's insane. Like the level of the tactics that they employ to, essentially carry out their
Enforce
will.
it.
Oh
Enforce it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy that if there's a surplus, they say, don't release it. It's going to lower the price for everybody else. That's crazy.
It's
like, what
corrupt,
part
right?
of that money do they
Oh, yeah.
actually get?
Where's the free
Sometimes
market
it's nothing.
behind that?
Correct. Oh, Canada, the free market
yeah, yeah,
society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go dump some maple syrup on your cocks. Go eat your circle bacon, assholes.
Poutine it on your
Yeah. Contain it.
Where were you, Phil?
poutine.
Poutine.
Like
Poutine.
Yep.
yeah. So which leads to these rebel sugar makers, and now that turns essentially into a black market, and now you have a black market of maple syrup.
That's
Crazy.
that's funny.
Yeah, coming out of
Such a benign, sweet, innocent ingredient, and it's got a own black market for it.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts.
Wild.
Yeah.
and it's led to
It's
like
not an
it's like a
illicit
black
drug.
market of,
It's
like-
not like
It's like
Yeah.
black market of Teletubby toys or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so sweet and benign. It's like it's a sweet breakfast food. Everybody loves it. Give me it or I'll blow your fucking head off.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, don't sell too much, asshole.
Wow.
There was I saw an interview of a maple syrup maker, and they equated it to like you've legalized weed and you're criminalizing, you're forcing us to go into a criminal black market with maple syrup, but you're legalizing it for marijuana.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition.
That's
is-
why legalized marijuana happened in New Jersey, but they said you can't grow it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we can still control it.
Yeah, they just did that in PA.
They legalized weed in PA?
No, they
Oh.
they just
They're
passed.
making moves.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
on the ballot it was you could grow, and they just voted it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
they're like, we want to make that money.
Yeah, of
you
course.
Don't do that.
Hold them at bay. Make them think
Yeah,
we're
but
trying.
It's the same concepts everywhere.
For
And
sure.
To your De Beers, I don't know about the De Beers, but it sounds very similar.
Well, De Beers is the people that own the diamond mines in Africa, and they are basically in charge of they. There's no other people that diamonds go through.
so they're the standard.
De Beers has they have the reserve. They set the market, and I think they go off of the global economy based on what you can only sell something for what the market could bear. For what 20 chicken nuggets cost here, you can get 50 of them in Tennessee. So they have to look on that on a global standpoint, and they regulate the price. They release the amount. They don't over-release the amount. And I think that could be said in so many different industries, and I don't want to learn about it in other industries because as soon as I find
make
out the
you sad.
chicken's more expensive because of this, these people over here said no, we got too much of it, and I'm just trying to fucking eat. I'm not going to be happy about it. But
Goddamn Tyson and
I know,
Purdue.
right.
You ever
You ever,
Google?
you ever drive by those places?
Oh, it's yeah.
Oh my god!
Dude, there's
it
one in
smells
upstate New
horrible.
York.
God.
Yeesh.
They're like
That's a
500
morbid
feet.
place.
They're 500 yards long, easy, 5 football
Yeah.
fields long, with fans the size of my house on the
Yeah.
end of them, and there's like 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
It's
full
just
of chicken.
depressing thinking about about where my food comes from, so I just don't, and I just eat it.
That's why it's like literally.
Yeah,
lately,
What am I going to do about that?
I've
Nothing.
just been I've been buying from like
Farmers
farms.
markets.
Well, that yes,
Like,
fine.
So I know that it's like, okay, they're free range,
Yes.
whatever. You know, like it's.
That's fine. That's fair.
I don't.
Yes.
I think factory farming is one of those things that needs to be.
Regenerative farming needs to keep happening.
Yeah.
And there's
and
a
we
place.
can stop crying about global warming
I know.
in that aspect. As
There's-
far as
Well, that would fix it.
That's
would.
for sure.
Or to
it
help
would fix one of the things.
Isn't it the biggest? Isn't it the biggest cause of greenhouse
No.
gas? As they say,
No.
or the biggest cause is
think
commercial
so.
farming?
Taylor
Like,
Swift
no,
jet.
because see,
It's
that's
Taylor
the thing.
Swift
Yeah, that's the problem. Let's go put paint on it, fucking idiots.
No. So
is cow farts or something like
they
that?
say that, but then like you actually have like chemists that talk about the methane. Methane is the quick. Like, let's say you fart right now, right?
It's going to dissipate.
How quickly does it dissipate?
Yeah, before it even gets to the
dissipates
roof.
too quickly before it can actually do harm to
anything
anything else.
Okay,
it's
okay.
one of those big misnomers that they rail on. It's part of a bigger.
I like the people that argue and
A
say,
bigger
well,
thing.
the farts, dinosaurs.
They don't want us. They don't want us to
Is
eat.
this what you had in your? In
They
your
don't want us to eat beef
I'm
anymore.
cool with talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, they say dinosaurs were, 150 times larger than cows. They're like, what did their farts do? I don't know. The whole Earth burned and there was an asteroid. Maybe they had something to do with it. I don't know. You never know. But go back on to your...
Fartstroid. No, that's bad. Sorry.
Fart steroid.
Yeah. No, I think it's just fascinating how governments allow these things to exist.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no free market.
Yeah.
No free.
It's like under the guise of a word or a phrase.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you can even go back and look at like in Mexico, like with the cartels, like the
Illegal cartels.
the
yeah.
illegal cartels,
Yeah.
but it's essentially legal there
Yeah.
because they're able to, produce heroin,
Right.
with the help of China, with the fentanyl, and then they're like, oh, we got the biggest market right above us.
Here we go.
Right
Right
up the thing.
upstairs. Yep. You're right.
It's like an ancillary income
Yeah.
stream.
It's funny because it can even trickle down to something small, like what I do with the cast iron thing. I talk with about 10 or 12 different other guys that sell cast iron, and we are nowhere near cornering the market or owning the market. Nowhere near. I'm not saying that. But when we talk, I said, I'm done offering. I said, I can't offer more than $50 for a Griswold. And I think if all of us stop offering more than that for a Griswold, we'll be able to get it at a reasonable rate and restore it and sell it for what the market value is.
Yeah.
We started doing that, and I scooped up like 15 of them within 2 months. It was crazy. It was
Yeah.
weird how that shit works.
It's-
And imagine that on a global level with fucking trees.
Exactly.
That's I can't
Trees.
even manage that, I thought.
No, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's the same principle of like a classroom, and one kid talks louder, and then the other kid talks louder. And if we all talk to each other, to have,
escalation.
Yes.
to be like, if we just talk all this volume, we can all hear each other.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
Right.
we just need to like just say stabilize.
But my point is more important,
Yeah.
Phil.
Exactly.
I'm going to answer the question,
yeah.
Pete. I'm going to answer him. I'm going to talk back. He's questioned me. I'm going to talk. Mr. Trump, this is a debate that is supposed to be both sides. You were offered a question and you answered. I know, but he just lied about me. Should I be able to lie back about him? I'm just talking back. I'm just answering the question. Mr. Trump, I'm going to shut your microphone off. If you want to shut my microphone off, he doesn't even know what he's saying. It's fine. It's just, sorry, Phil. We just heisted your episode.
Yeah, we just.
Yeah. What
great
else you
maple
got?
syrup
What else you
episode.
got?
Well, so like I wanted to talk about other like things like the beers and the other types of
for sure.
cartels, if you
The
will.
auto market.
Oh, yeah, the auto market. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that cars are worth what cars are.
Oh,
But it
awful.
makes people angry and it motivates them to do things. And that's kind of what happened in 2011 to 2012 when there was a heist
Right.
in the global strategic reserve of maple syrup.
There was a legit heist.
Yeah.
So they replaced enough barrels to amount to $18 million in maple syrup. Yeah.
How do you get that much maple syrup? How do you move that much?
Trucks.
No one
well,
knows.
yeah, twux.
Yeah,
And
no one really
twux
knows
and
how
cars
they moved
and,
it.
and bulldozers. And
with the auto manufacturers, there was a
That's
law that
just-
was passed 3 years ago that if your vehicle was over a certain amount of GVW, you could write off the full amount, front end load the amount of the vehicle, even if you're making payments. So say you go to Mercedes and buy a G-Wagon, and if it weighs enough, you can put that in. It was Section 179, and you could write off the full sticker price of that vehicle that tax year. So say there were people that making only $100,000.
Yeah.
And they buy a $180,000 vehicle. They're now upside down with the IRS for like $80,000.
Whoa.
So many people did that. All the other SUV people were like, well, we should just start charging whatever we want because these people are getting a direct write-off from us. So that's why in the last 5 to 10 years, SUVs, when we were kids, my dad bought a fucking Jeep Cherokee for like $2,000. Now you want to buy a fucking SUV,
36.
a used SUV from a car lot because you can still write it off. It depends on the weight of the vehicle. You can write it off 100%. So now you see fucking 10-year-old Land Cruisers for $20,000.
Yeah.
And that one little law that they tried to stimulate the auto market came back and fucking bit them right in the ass. And I could see that happening in every industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Sorry
Are you
about that.
okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All
Yeah.
right.
I like that. That was good education.
And that was no, seriously.
That was, you're
It
very
is.
passionate about
Because I
it,
almost
so-
bought a vehicle and wrote the whole fucking thing off. I almost
like
did
that
it.
you gave the audience the section.
Section 179.
Yeah.
And it started out, it was 100%. The next year it went to 80. The next 2 years it went to 60, 60. Then 40, 40, 40 for the next
This
3.
is what happens when you try to bail out the auto manufacturers.
figure
in
out a way to fuck
2008,
you.
2009.
That's it. You're right.
Ooh, yeah.
And the banks. It's
So
like you got. Unfortunately, the way
Airports.
We could do without Pontiacs.
no, it's
Airplane tickets.
the way
Airline. Yeah. Airline.
Yeah.
the way what do you call it? The way that capitalism is supposed to work and all that shit. You have to let those companies die.
You have to let them
You have to
fizzle out.
you have to let them go.
Yeah.
And
Right.
because we bailed them out, it's like, oh, they're back, but then that puts the costs on us, and then it just drives it forward.
And that's
Yeah.
the mistake. They gave the houses back to the same people and
Yep.
gave out bonuses.
We're America. We don't let losers win.
Yeah,
Come
right.
on.
Short of shaking them by their ankles, there was no way to make the bankers accountable.
Participation trophy. There's America.
So did this heist?
That is the highest form of participation trophy.
It is.
Bailout.
It really
It's a
is.
bailout.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did so shitty. We're gonna fucking help you start
Yeah.
over.
We're going to reward you with
You
help.
made all these terrible things. Did you guys ever watch the movie The Big Short?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
So
great
good.
movie.
No.
So
That was- oh, dude, you gotta watch that.
What's
you would
it
enjoy
about?
it.
It's about the collapse of the 2008 housing market.
Oh, yeah?
So
And
basically,
Adam McKay.
Adam
Oh.
McKay.
Yeah.
It's got Steve Carell, Christian Bale,
Brad Pitt.
Is
Right.
this a comedy?
Kind of.
Kind of.
kind of, but,
say,
but
like-
it happens. It's real. What happens?
Ryan
Well, I know.
Gosling.
Yeah.
Because what they do is, and they also explain and break things down for you, like all the complex financial things. Like Anthony Bourdain is like in a kitchen cutting shit up and explaining like, oh, this is what
It's
happens.
really cool.
Why- oh, dude, it's awesome.
It's pretty neat.
And
So
it's multi-level, so it's like kind of like Crash. So you see each perspective of
Yes.
the market
Yeah,
getting
I
screwed.
see. It's different.
That's cool.
It's different stories
Yeah.
being told at
And
once.
Steve Carell is hands down.
So
my
it's
favorite
called The
in that.
Big Short because in
I like Christian Bale too.
in stock investing they have something that's called options investing, and you can invest that in a stock that you think is going to go down or you think it's going to go up.
Shorts.
And you can actually buy the stock and sell it immediately, and if it goes up, you keep the profit and return the stock that you lended for the amount you paid. But if it's short, you sell it for less and expect the market to go down so you could sell your stocks cheaper.
Yeah.
So in every market, people are like, with this collapse, the auto market's going to go down. I know it's going to go down. So they short the auto market.
Do you
And it
remember?
fucks the whole thing
Do you
up.
remember during COVID, the whole GameStop thing and the
Yeah.
Yes.
It
the
disrupted
AMC
the
theaters?
production.
Yeah.
Fucked
prediction.
everything.
It's called Stonks.
Yeah.
They finally
of all-
got that guy. They arrested that guy.
Did they really?
The guy that GME, the
Savage
guy
Kid?
that manipulated GameStop so much,
Yeah.
the SEC investigated him and they finally got him.
Really?
I
Still on
couldn't believe.
YouTube.
I know. I can't believe they did, but the feds got him. You know how many people lost money on
Just
that?
watch the video. All right, anyways.
Yeah, they were hedge funds.
Yeah, and they lost money because of that guy, and they finally got him.
Yeah, well,
They shouldn't. It should be the other way around.
it
Should be the other way around.
should be the
We
other
should
way around.
shake hedge fund owners by the
Yeah.
ankles. We can't do this. We got to talk about maple syrup.
Yeah, we
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, but it's kind of
It's the
relevant.
same thing. Yeah, it's all the same thing. It's motivating people to do things because of
Yes.
let's say a corrupt system. Let's say
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
predicted-
Yeah.
corrupt.
A lack of
Overreach.
empathy for capitalism.
Overreaches.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the problem
exactly.
is people
Yeah, an
they
overreach,
have a
of course.
level of power and then they abuse said power.
Yeah.
You
Correct.
know, so same thing with hedge funds. Hedge funds are they basically tell everybody like, oh, you need to buy this stock or whatever it is, and they're like they suggest people to buy it while they themselves are
Buying something
shorting
else.
it.
Yeah. They're
Right,
shorting.
right,
Yes.
right.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes
A
sense.
lot of stocks
You know,
everywhere.
it goes-
There's a lot of stocks.
They
So-
have people like what was that? What's the guy? The mad guy? MSNBC.
Kramer?
Jim
Jim Kramer.
He's-
Right?
yeah.
The hedge funds tell him, like, yeah, this company's going down
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Say
He
this.
tells the regular people that, it's like, you should buy this. You should buy
Yeah.
Right? And then they
Go
short
buy
this-
Redbox.
Yeah.
He's had a couple blunders.
R.I.P.
Quite
yeah.
a few.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, it's to our points. It motivates people to do things, and it motivates people to get emotional and mad about things. So
Which artificially inflates the market.
Which we
Yeah.
just saw with Kyle talking about the automotive market.
yeah. So he's gonna do a heist. It's called Gone in 60 Seconds 2. And anyways,
I just
Hey,
had
don't bring Dr. Ruth Westheimer into this.
why? Because you're 60. No.
Gone in 60 seconds. Dude.
Yeah. So after that, 3,000 tons of maple syrup was stolen. That's $18 million.
3,000
That's almost $19 million.
I am so impressed by the logistics of that.
Yeah. The only evidence they had is that they found some barrels in Asia, some barrels in America, and then some barrels in Germany.
Oh, they found
so
them.
they just found him like as already trafficked, and
Already gone.
They
out
sold
there.
them on the black market, you mean?
Yeah.
Or
So they were able to backtrace it to that
so
event.
You have three to, well, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You have this guy named Richard Valeris. He was a sugar maker, and his father was a sugar maker who went against the Federation. So it's like father, like son. He got in a whole bunch of career. He's a career criminal, pretty much.
Okay.
So he was one of the people that gotten caught. His dad got caught. Avik, this guy who managed the warehouse, who helped everyone coordinate everything. Sebastian, this dude that was a driver, and then there was this guy Etienne, who was essentially the fence, who got all the stuff everywhere.
Oh, okay.
he was
so-
the logistics
He's a
manager.
distributor.
Yeah, and
The
he
distributor?
lived outside of Quebec. He was smart.
So he couldn't be charged in Canada.
Exactly. So
Ah.
all of his stuff was on the up and up,
Yeah.
essentially,
Wow.
to Canadian standards.
He was ready.
Yeah, but he still got jail time. Yeah, he got
Wow.
a year jail, and he was
Valerias, are they French Canadian?
Yeah.
Wow, their
Oh, yeah.
heads were not attached.
Quebec, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
Quebec. Yeah,
Their
Quebec.
mouth,
man,
their
we're gonna
mouth
do a heist,
actually is
buddy.
Yeah.
separated at their
Actually,
mouth.
isn't it Quebec?
Yeah,
We're gonna do a
could
heist,
be.
buddy.
Yeah, Quebec.
Quebec.
Watching the money, whatever the documentary
Dirty Money.
was, listening to their accents was torturous.
Yes.
I do not recommend listening to the Canadian accent for more than 45 minutes.
I fart in your general direction.
But lovely people, I'm sure.
There we go.
Anyways, so over the course of the year, they stole all of this maple syrup, and eventually they were caught. Valerius served, I think, 8 years, and he was fined $10 million. His dad was served about 2 years. Avik was like a career criminal. He was tied to the Italian mafia, so he served a little bit more time. So he got caught for a couple other things, which is weird that he was the manager of the warehouse, which was owned by the Global Strategic Reserve. So how do you have a Italian mobster owning one of the warehouses?
You get installed.
Yeah. There you go.
It's what-
We
it's like-
can't
it's what happens with the
discriminate.
Italian mob here with like waste management and all that stuff.
I guess so.
They
Yeah,
give their what is it?
All the Italian food companies that are owned by the mob.
What are those? What are those fucking labor union jobs where it's like basically you get paid to do nothing?
Oh yeah.
The no
All of them.
me up.
no work contracts or whatever. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen those.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we're blackballed.
But yeah, so and then they were eventually caught, and it was pretty much they used them as an example, so they went real heavy on the sentences.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
And-
unfortunate for them.
And that's pretty much
That's just wild. Like you think about a heist, you think about diamonds, you think about money, jewelry, guns,
You guys
whatever.
want to be maple syrup pirates?
yeah.
We can be right now.
Like legit? Like we can go to Canada and just start fucking shit up.
Yo
and then come back.
ho, yo
Yeah.
ho, the syrup life for
as, long,
me.
as long as we get the product away, we're good.
Nah, dude, I'll just be the
what we
Joker. I'll
gotta
burn
do.
it.
It burns.
Yeah, like as soon as we get in America,
Some
they'll be
people
just.
want to watch the world burn.
All right, so we have
yeah. So yeah. Go ahead.
we have these are the people that you were just talking about.
Yeah. So basically, what we put together was a fictional scene of that. And we all have a character that we're going to play, and we're going to do like
Yeah.
an old time radio.
Yeah, so like when you watch a documentary and there's a recreation of the events
Yes.
they're talking about,
Yeah.
this is the audio version of that.
With
Exactly.
sound effects.
Yeah. So
in Dolby Digital Sound.
I'm going to be the narrator / Michelle. You're going to Peter's going to be Avik. You're going to be
Raymond.
And I'm Richard.
all right.
Richard.
So Richard
What up,
is
Dick?
the ringleader in his mid-30s. Raymond, me, is Richard's father in his 60s. Avik is the insider in his 40s. And Michelle is the inspector, only appears briefly.
The setting. A dimly lit warehouse in St. Louis de Blanford, Quebec. the walls are lined with white metal barrels. The scene takes place in dead of night with a faint sound of trucks idling outside. Richard is kneeling outside of a barrel, filling with water. Raymond stands nearby, keeping watch. Vic is rolling the newly filled water barrels into place and moving the real syrup barrels out.
We need to keep this pace up. Sebastian's got the trucks ready to go. And he's all set to move the syrup once we deliver.
Are you sure this plan will work? What if someone notices before we're done?
Relax, Dad. They only check these barrels once a year. By the time they figure it out, we'll be long gone. Besides, who'd think to steal maple syrup?
It's just, this is a lot of syrup, Richard. There's 18.7 Canadian million dollars worth, which is weird for us to calculate beforehand. If we get caught...
We won't get caught, okay? Etney's already got buyers lined up, and as soon as we hand it off to him, it's out of our hands. And Sebastian knows the routes, so no one's suspecting a thing, okay?
Avic, joining the conversation, wiping sweat from his brow.
Just keep moving. We've got a lot of barrels here going through.
How many left?
About 50 or so. We are making time, but we need to stay sharp.
Richard to Raymond.
Dad, help Ivic with the next batch, please. I'll handle this side.
Raymond, moving, help.
I just hope this doesn't come back to bite us. I don't want to end up in jail
We-
at my age.
We won't. Okay? This is a once-in-a-lifetime score. We'll be set for life. Just stick to the plan.
Faint crackling sound from the far end of the warehouse.
What was that?
Avic, pausing, listening intently.
Probably just the building settling. We're fine.
Raymond, nervously.
We need to be more careful if anybody finds out.
Nobody will find out, okay? This place is deserted at night. Michael only does his inspections during the day, and he's not due for months.
It is Michelle.
Speaking of Michelle, did you hear he nearly fell off a stack of barrels last inspection?
Richard laughing quietly.
Yeah, I did hear. Poor guy probably thought he'd lose his touch.
Raymond sighing.
All right, let's just finish this thing up and get out of here.
Richard nodding, resuming his work.
That's the spirit. Keep your heads down, and we'll be rich, ashing, in sipping syrup in no time. What?
Don't
That is
question.
a typo there, Richard. Please keep talking.
Don't question the script. Distant sound of a truck idling outside.
That's Sebastian. He's ready for the next load. Let's move.
Richard, standing up, hoisting a filled container.
All right, let's go. We're almost there.
They work quickly and silently, replacing syrup barrels with water-filled ones. The scene fades out as they continue their heist, confident in their plan and unaware of their looming investigation. Interior warehouse. Days, weeks later. Michel Guevara stands beside a stack of rusted barrels, puzzled. Michel to himself. What the? Maple syrup doesn't sweat. Michel opens up a barrel. Michel. Water! Michel opens up another barrel. Put in!
Which means fuck.
Which means fuck in English. Cut back to Richard and his crew a few days later after the heist in a secluded sugar shack. Richard, raising a toast with a small bottle of maple syrup.
To the sweetest job we ever pulled.
That's right. son.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Everybody. I don't know why I'm Polish.
You went Russian. Did we go across the Bering Strait? We got maple syrup and new global markets.
This was fucking awesome, dude. That was great. I think we should do one of them every fucking
Sorry
episode.
for the typo.
That was awesome.
I'll clean up.
Don't question the script, Richard.
That was great, dude.
I cleaned that lineup this morning and I forgot about that.
Shut up, Margaret.
What was the syrup? What?
Yeah, because Chat wrote it. Because Chat wrote it, then I rewrote stuff in there, and that's the one line I wrote. Because it said, "We'll be sipping syrup in no time."
Are we still recording, or is that the end of the episode?
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, I got a little excited.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that
so
was fun. I liked that. Thank you
what-
for putting that together.
Yeah,
thank you.
I enjoyed
That was
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm really. I want to do more of these.
I would love to.
This is definitely like a passion of mine. So there's
Theater
gonna
of
be-
the mind.
I am the biggest old school radio. I listen to it every single night. There is a channel on YouTube where
Every
they.
single night.
I thought you were going.
I was like, I went to this site.
nights I listen.
I went to this YouTube channel and said, my God, there's a lot of videos here. And I said, they're fantastic videos. Ask anybody that knows you.
If you take a look at silent radio,
if you take a look at this,
Take a look at it.
It was the greatest radio ever.
But before we leave,
yeah.
let's just do a little recap on maple syrup. What is your favorite thing to put it on? Do you have a favorite brand? Curious.
I will say, one of my most favorite recent discoveries involving maple syrup was the maple syrup hot sauce from, was it
Spicy
Whitehouse?
Shark?
Yeah, Spicy
there's
Shark.
Spicy Shark?
There's
Yeah,
a few.
there's a couple of
Reds
them.
was
has one.
Delicious.
The black garlic.
Reds has one?
It was like
the black
Reds,
garlic.
yeah.
on,
Really?
on
Yes.
wings. On wings, can't beat it, man.
Can't
Hello.
See, that's where I was going to go with
Hello.
that.
Yeah.
Chicken and maple syrup. is a
Chicken
win.
and waffles.
Yes,
Yeah.
chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles.
Hell yeah.
No
all
better,
day.
no better combo.
But I don't like, I said before, I don't like pancakes or waffles without some sort
French
of syrup.
toast.
Yeah, that's a
French toast, dude. Absolutely.
Of course.
Got to get it nice and crispy.
Can I
You
tell
can't
you
have
what I
mushy
just-
French toast.
Can I tell you what I like? Last weekend, I went to a 2-year-old's birthday party, and it was like.
Were you
started-
invited?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
it was. I was a guest. Oh, they had. It was like at 10 o'clock in the morning, so they had like kind of like a little brunch thing.
Ooh.
And they had
Mimosas?
No, it was like a corn dog, but pancakes with a sausage link. In
Yo.
the middle.
Yeah. That's
it
a
was
win.
so good.
You
a
got
win.
my attention.
You
Yeah. That
just-
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
probably just batter dipped
Yeah.
sausage on a stick.
Yep. Yeah, it was really good.
That's a
First time I
great
ever had
idea,
one of
man.
those.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I
Big
love
fan.
that
That's
idea.
a porn dog, is what that should be. I think if any part of my breakfast has syrup on it, I'm like
Thought you were
nodding
gonna
off
say
by
dick.
11.
Yeah, but it puts you to
Do you-
sleep.
It makes
All right.
it.
Do you get upset when it touches your eggs?
No,
Maple
hell
syrup?
No, I
Oh,
love
really?
it on the eggs.
Okay.
Syrup on
All right.
scrambled eggs,
No.
I'll make it happen.
Because I will tell you this, my
Make a
preferred way
habit.
of eating anything is throwing it into a bowl. So I
Oh.
will basically put
Really?
everything. I love eating out of a bowl.
PJ, the P in PJ stands for poke bowl, so that's
What the
Pokeball?
fuck?
nothing.
It's
he
like
likes
a
jelly too. The J.
Contained
Oh.
bowl. Yeah.
Okay, is everything?
No, but seriously, like I'll throw things in a bowl, and it's just like it's kind of like omelet or whatever,
Yeah.
just like a casserole almost.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like when you accidentally get syrup on your bacon or something. So that just kind of made it a
That's
little
good.
better.
The
That
eggs-
kind of made it
eggs
better.
absolutely.
freaks me out for some reason.
Not kind of. You're right. Absolutely
Chick-fil-A,
better.
Chick-fil-A right now has a chicken sandwich with maple bacon, peppered maple bacon. It's pretty
Yes,
good.
it
Wow,
is
that's
pretty
a
good.
tongue twister. Pepper maker bacon.
Don't
Yeah.
do the Dunkin' Donuts hot honey. That is.
Oh my god!
Ugh.
I don't
Is it
eat
nasty?
anything.
It's
from-
like 100% bread, like 93%
I don't
bread.
eat
Is
anything
it?
from
Really?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts stuff is all microwaved crap. It's not very good.
Yeah,
the
that's
food.
disgusting.
I'm fine with donuts and the iced coffee, and that can be enough. That's good enough.
I won't even drink their coffee. It's shit.
It's
I like the
it's
iced
hot
coffee.
lava. That's what it is too.
It's-
It's
it's
always
just-
served extremely
It's just
hot.
garbage. Now that I've had access to like really good coffee,
Of
Yeah.
course.
You know
I
what it
prefer-
is, yeah.
because I don't drink that much coffee as it is. I don't need to drink it every morning.
Yeah.
So like I will go to a place that I know has it.
Yeah,
Like
and
good coffee.
as a treat, almost like
Yes.
a not a
100%.
necessity, not
Yeah,
fuel.
I don't need it in the morning to.
Yeah.
That's what energy drinks are for.
Today's
Speaking
the first
of
day
the-
I haven't had coffee in a year.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's the first
Wow.
day.
Really?
That's hard.
I was gonna.
Didn't
That's
you
really
have
hard,
coffee
man.
in Boston?
It's the first day I haven't had it in a year.
Oh, this is the first
Yeah,
day.
today.
You
Yeah.
haven't had it in a
Yeah,
year.
today.
Wow.
I am uncaffeinated.
I was.
Wow, good for you. Yeah, my wife
I
did the same
drinking-
thing,
drinking
but that's
alcohol,
because
but-
she got disgusted one time. She was drinking her coffee and she felt something in her
Sure, I
mouth and
thought you
spit
were gonna
out, and
say-
it was a fly in her coffee.
I thought you were gonna say she
And it
got
just disgusted her?
disgusting because she's pregnant. I'm like,
Oh,
whoa,
dude.
Fly in the coffee cup, shoe fly,
Yeah.
in the coffee cup.
But it
shoe, fly,
grossed her out so much
husband
she
plays
couldn't
video
drink-
game, shoe fly, shoe.
It grossed her out so much that she couldn't drink coffee for a year. She did it, no problem. And she gets up for work at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how she did it. I tried to quit coffee and I had raging headaches for days. And it's like, fuck it. What's
I was
one half
waiting
a
for my
cup of
headache,
coffee?
but I think alcohol is helping.
Oh, yeah,
Good for you. Good for you.
Speaking of coffee, for just a quick second, I think maple coffee is pretty good. I like that in the fall.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty
I'm
good.
into that.
I like
A
that.
coworker of mine introduced me to the Nespresso pod machine thing, and
that's what Ashley has.
he gave me one,
That
and I was like,
thing's
this thing
cool.
made me rethink coffee completely because of the flavors that were infused in the ground coffee.
Yeah, but Nestle.
Yeah.
Phil hates Nestle.
I know it's not a Nestle.
Thank you for remembering. I was gonna. Yeah.
I was getting to that. You beat me, you fuck. I was gonna say the
did make me feel
product,
good.
the machine is Nestle, but the
Gotta be
pods I
quicker
buy
than
are
that.
all Starbucks third party shop, right? Whatever. My
still gotta
coworker, my coworker gave me a cup. He's like, "Yeah, this Nespresso machine. Let me show you." And he shows me. He's like, "This thing's like $400, like big money. Like, yeah, I got it for his wife, from his wife for his anniversary, whatever." I found one 2 days later at the thrift store for $15.
Oh shit.
So I brought it to work,
Yeah.
and he was so pissed. He didn't talk to me for like 3 days. He didn't talk to me. He was so
What is
pissed.
fragile?
I know. Trust me. He was like, he's a fucking guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know, I miss with Dunkin' Donuts was the coffee culottes. I love
They're
them.
good?
They were so they were good. They don't make them anymore.
You want a good coffee? Go to Dunkin' Donuts and ask for a Charlie. They'll give you. That's a good.
Charlie in the box?
No, it's good. It's a secret menu thing. It's
Oh,
good.
interesting.
It's sweet cold foam, cinnamon, iced coffee with a shot of espresso. Really
Classic
good.
Kyle. Secrets out.
So like if you wanna do
Doxing.
Secrets
if you want to do maple at home,
zip code.
all you gotta do is put maple syrup on a one of those silicone trays and dehydrate it and make your own maple sugar.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
just
yeah,
crush
yeah,
it,
yeah.
pulverize it in like a coffee grinder.
like how
and then,
Chris makes the glass.
Yeah.
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 That sounds cool.
I mean,
I
then
like
you just put it in
that.
your coffee, and then you have.
So what's a
you
weird
essentially
thing?
have that.
Do we have any weird things that we would put syrup on that's really good? Like I know I've had it before, and like the bacon and the
Ice
sausage is
cream?
always
I
good.
like mixing it with gochujang, like spicy
Oh, yeah,
Korean.
yeah, yeah,
paste.
Gochujang is so good.
Oh,
Mix it-
yeah?
yeah, and then you
It's like
rub
a
it on.
spicy, sweet mustard.
Dude, that shit
Yeah.
is. I mean,
It's like a Korean paste. It's like a sweet Korean.
also
like a
again,
ketchup.
sounds
It is.
great for chicken.
That
You
shit
make it
is
sweet.
hot.
Yeah.
It is.
Because
Is it?
if you
Not
get
for
the,
me, then.
the wrong proportion, it will fuck you up.
Gochujang
Yeah,
is
but 'cause
serious.
sugar neutralizes the heat, right? Or
Yeah,
what?
so
Not
if you
always.
mix those, you can,
Sometimes.
but if you mix those two together, the flavor profile is really good.
Yeah,
and two,
yeah.
it does. For me, it neutralizes some of the.
It does
gochujang.
neutralize some
Yeah.
of the. What neutralizes some of the capsaicin in food? Is it the
Lactic acid.
Well, no, it's
it's acid.
citric acid.
Citric acid. Yeah, it's acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
they add like lime juice or lemon. You know,
I have
depending
citric
on-
acid in powder form in my
Yeah.
house that I just.
Dude, fucking! I'll tell you. One time I put gochujang in it was like chili or something,
Jesus Christ.
and I put like a heaping scoopful.
Oh
in.
yeah, it's tomato paste. It's all fine.
It's tomato
but
paste.
everything's
It's
fine.
fine.
But
And
it's
then
like
you're like
concentrated pepper paste.
Everything's good and fine.
But yeah, I would say those are my weird ones, if you will. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I've
like
added
it.
I've added it in,
Ice cream.
into recipes and stuff. Like I've used it in when I made a what do you call it? Barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
There you
I've
go.
used it to make
Yeah.
barbecue sauce
Yeah.
instead of molasses.
I've marinated with it. I've used maple
Yeah.
syrup with
Ooh,
oil
yeah,
and
it
vinegar.
coats really nice.
A little bit of
Yes.
balsamic in
Holds
there.
it,
Yeah.
especially when you add like your powder. It's almost like a binding agent.
Of course.
I think I had chicken and waffles for the first time ever was in Tennessee. I think I got it
Good
when we went to
place to
see
have
Frankie. Huh?
It's a good, place, to have it.
That's what I
Yeah.
figured.
Yeah, like
if I'm
that-
gonna
that
have
in
it,
Georgia.
I'm gonna get it here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I bought
and
chicken
I
and
was
waffles.
I was very happy I had that.
I bought it through Bulletproof Glass in Atlanta. We were getting gas on a road trip, and I just everything inside of me held me from turning around and driving 50 miles back to go get more. It
Yeah.
was so fucking good.
Yeah, I remember. That's like when we went to Pennsylvania and
It's
we
not like
passed
you
a
were
place.
talking
I didn't know where you were
Yeah.
going there. You had me on this ride, and I'm like,
I thought you were
oh,
going to have
shit.
diarrhea.
like,
Yeah, you thought he was gonna have diarrhea.
No, I crapped in West Virginia from. Never mind. From that. Never mind.
But yeah,
should
so-
we end the episode with diarrhea like usual? Like
That's how it's been going.
that's what we do, just talking
How's it
shit.
going there?
diarrhea's here. Full Size Podcast. Thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe.